Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I've done the last video. I've got a few new parts because the season is about to start. So I'm trying to get the truck ready for the next season of racing. There's things I'm changing and there's things basically giving the truck a service, like diff oils, shock oils, any seals what need replacing, replace them. Use all your checks and everything like that on the vehicle itself, and any upgrades and that to see what happens. I've got a couple of upgrades for it. Basically, I have some guards like these little ones here. Is what I made out of stainless steel for the time being. And now, as you can see on the other side, this is only permanent. This is not permanent yet, it's not properly fixed in, it's just there to show. There's the newer ones that are a lot larger. And I have got, actually, you can see, I've got some newer extenders. These are the old extenders, these ones here. And you've got like an O-ring what goes there, or sometimes people put cable ties. I put cable ties. I just did not like the look of the cable tie there. It's just to stop that pin from coming out. Not only there's a grub screw inside here what holds that, but it still tends to move. And sometimes I've heard the O-rings break as well over time because rubber, they just dry out and everything like that. So we have these new ones, what are, as you can see, actually a lot bigger. What I will do is I'll put one of the older ones down. You can actually see, if you focus, you can actually see the new ones are slightly taller. I have put wheels on the truck and everything like to see what it looks like, and it actually doesn't look too bad. The front looks wider than the back. I haven't driven the truck yet with these on it, so what I'll probably possibly do is, once I've done quite a few race rounds, and if I don't get any issues with them, these are Taylor by. These are ones that are Taylor ones, by the way, and these are, I think, the RC. There we go. They're the RC model ones. They're the ATCP ones. Well, these are 20. Well, it depends, obviously, where you're coming from. The price will be different, but in the UK, they're about £21 or something like that. £21, and these are about 20 quid for 4. And these are just for 2, but these are actually got the pin in them as well, and a grub screw there, and that hole there actually holds the pin as well, so you don't need to worry. All you need to do is a little bit of blue Loctite on that, and away you go. But the quality is unbelievable on there. I've got some new parts here as well. I've got some front suspension wishbone parts here what hold they go on the inside, carbon fibre ones. These are actually quite a bit cheaper than the lossy ones. As I'm quite new to having these in the truck, I don't know how long these are going to last. I'm hoping they're going to last quite a long time, a bit like the metal ones. They are lighter than the metal ones. I don't know how much by, but it's probably going to be a fair bit, but probably not noticeable, but it's all down to cost. Everything at the moment, it seems to be very expensive. I've got some new ball joint or rose joints as well. They are Taylor RC. On I'll put it all down in the description down below, so anyone needs to go to these shops and that, these model shops, I will put their details down the bottom on the description. I'm trying these out at the moment because I've been running these other ones. This one's a used one, and they're okay, but focus. Here we go. They're okay, but I wouldn't say, because where we race there is sand in the fake grass, and like sand and water is, you know, not the best combination. But these are much bigger. I think these are going to last a lot longer. I'm hoping. I've never broken a shaft on the shock absorbers. I'm not saying it won't happen, but these are still the original. Well, Jobs of the shock is still original, apart from some of the internals in there, and this outer part is, and these springs aren't original. But the rest of it, and this isn't original, this is a replacement. But you've got, you can see it, there's a lot of movement, they're knackered, they are. Like I say, I'm just doing a service, getting it ready for the new season. I've done the diff inside there, it's got new oil in it, new seals, new gasket and everything like that. And the actual diff, what do you call that actually? Oh, it's a diff housing. This one here is the original one. It's about 6-7 years old. Still in working condition. But I do find, like, because you've got that, well, you've got this metal bit here. That metal bit there tends to, I think it's just worn a little bit, but they're okay for, like, they're still usable and everything like that. So, and I'm replacing them all throughout. I've got some new parts here for the centre diff. By the way, this truck is the V1 version. This is not a V2, it's a V1. But I have got the V2 steering linkage and everything on there. What isn't that bad actually, it's actually a lot better than the original. But like I said, I'm going to have to find out when I start racing it to see if this works. But this is one of the conversions that quite a few people do on their V1s. If you are thinking about doing this upgrade to your V1, just make sure when you buy it, when you buy all these other parts as well with it, just make sure you buy these bearings. Now this lot is for the bearings what go into, can you see it? I don't know if you can actually see it. Let's see if I can point to it. There we go. Right where my finger is, in here, those bearings actually go in here. I've got these shims at the moment, what aren't the correct way of doing it, but now I've got the bearings, I can put take these out and put the bearings in there. And because this part here, what I thought went in there, they don't go in there, they go there. That's all the correct way. You can Google the manual for the V2 anyway when you Google it. But here's the part number. This is from RC Models. Oh, focus. So you're looking at 96001. That is the part number for that part. Just make a note of that. I'll keep it there for a bit longer. And that's for these bearings here. And there's a pack of 4 or so, and they're cheap. They're not terribly expensive to do it. There's quite a lot of stuff from RC Models. There's a reasonable amount of money. It's quite surprising how much stuff is actually a reasonable amount of money. But it is down to quality. But you can mix and match. Both majority of this stuff here is all mix and match. As you can see here, I mean, I've got lossy parts, I've got 30 degree north parts here, I've got a upright here, X51004, you know, see, so there's no harm of, you've got to use like branded parts, you mix and match. I find using now lossy stuff in certain parts for drivetrain and everything like that is worth doing. But it's like the wishbones on here are 30 degree north, and I've never ever, as I've said in my previous videos, never ever had any issues with them. I've never broken one, and yeah, I've never had an issue with them. There's so much on the market these days. You can mix and match. Have some good stuff, and have some original stuff on it and aftermarket stuff. I mean, these here, these RC Max diff cases, I mean, they're from Taylor RC again, and so is these, and they run the larger bearings in them, so you don't run these little skinny bearings anymore. You actually run, I've got some here, these bearings here. These two big ones go on the diff itself, and these two here go onto the small pinion that goes onto the prop shaft or the centre drive shaft. So basically those small ones go in here. They're actually a lot larger than the original ones, what actually go in the plastic housing. I do highly recommend these. I've never ever had an issue with them. I've never had a bearing fail. Like I say, recently just changed it, checked the bearings, they've been good as gold. See, you've got all that movement there. There's not hardly any movement. The only movement I've got is basically the actual O-ring in the diff itself. And then that's the only movement I've literally got. I used to have more than that. It was horrendous. And because these are alley, because with plastic, it's heat, cold, heat, cold, heat, cold, and plastic tends to go out of shape a bit. But at least these dissipate heat. But I do highly recommend these. I've done it on the front. The front I found with the plastic side of it and the skinny bearings not a problem. It was more to the back than the front. Right, I'm going to put this video to an end. Thank you very much, and I will see you on the next one.